We are back at it again here with another video with the Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, continuing to fight to hold support and break through key resistance levels. And in today's volatility, our SPY buy at 8:37 a.m. sent out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 250% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, breaking through key resistance levels. And in today's video, we're going to break down the key levels I'd watch going into tomorrow. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the one opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. The home run day was spectacular and beyond expectations, and if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run day was from our Tesla bot. Our Tesla bot at 9:35 a.m. sent out a bear indicator, and from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside, pure weakness down 42 vision, and put options went up 100% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump to these charts. Here we are with the SPY stock, the S&P 500 index, doing a full transition from red bars to multiple bright green bars. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY stock, the S&P 500 index, back under a bull indicator here since yesterday at the 520 level. It broke through a key resistance of 522.50 and then up here near 523. Based off the history of the chart, it continued to slow down at that level, broke above it, headed towards 525 today, a key resistance we were watching. And then above that came 527, and it's up here near 529, rejecting off of 530 at the highest point of today's volatility. Now, we're going to break down the key levels and look at those inflows, but it wasn't only the SPY pushing up higher. You have the QQQ here under a bull indicator since 442, hitting highs up here at 453. And then when we come over to Tesla, doing the opposite, right? Pushing downwards under a bear indicator after having a bull indicator yesterday at 172, coming back down and testing that key support here and fighting to stay above it at 174, but it hit a high here of 181 and quickly got a bear indicator that's dominating at the 180 area. Now, Apple did follow, got a bull indicator at 186, continue pushing upwards and hit a high here so far of 190. Same thing with Netflix, looking choppy just like Tesla, and it's dominated by a bear indicator here in this volatility. It's fighting to stay above the 610 level, a critical support here based off the history of the chart in the last several days and weeks. So I will be watching that closely here in these charts. Now, when we zoom out on the SPY and look at this from the 1 hour, we could see here in the bigger picture a bull indicator that popped up at 521 in this tight consolidation between 520 and 523. It finally broke out, and that bull indicator never got canceled, right? On those drops below 520, 519, it came right back up. No bear indicator, and quickly things changed back to bright green bars, and that bull indicator held true through that volatility. Now, another thing as well, which we're going to look at in just a moment, those inflows played a crucial role, staying above the midpoint. We broke that down in yesterday's video, and I'm going to pull that up now, and we're going to break down the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow. And same thing with the volatility, right? On the 15-minute, under a bull indicator since yesterday, found support at that 520.80 level, and it's been strong all this way to this point of the recent high of 530. Let's break down those key levels I would watch going into tomorrow. Here we are with the SPY stock, the SP500 index, with inflows dominating here on the 30-minute. Even though those outflows were heading towards the midpoint, the reason why the chart did not completely collapse is because those outflows never dominated and crossed, right? Inflows continued strong and quickly came back up, and it hit highs today of 5.46. Now, outflows have began, but inflows, even though they're red, they're still positive 4.12, and I will be watching this the rest of these after hours and going into tomorrow, how sharp this drops and how close it gets to the midpoint, because when it crosses, that's when things start to reflect pretty fast, right? You could see here on these outflow crossovers, on those drops here, the drop here from 521 to 518, the drop from 522 to 520, and then up here 522 again to 519. Those are those outflow crossovers that start to dominate, but inflows have dominated all day, today and yesterday, through this volatility, continuing that staircase effect here on the 30-minute. Now, what I just broke down a few minutes ago and talked about that was crucial was on the 1 hour, how these inflows were looking strong, and they never crossed to the downside, right? They were pushing upwards, and we were watching for this to continue. If it could continue to stay above the midpoint and pull away from it, it would continue to reflect strength into these charts. And that's what happened, right? We went from inflows of 3.3 to highs here so far of 8.6. Currently red and pointing downwards, outflows are beginning, but it's still sitting at inflows positive of 7.83. And it's going to be crucial for it to stay above the midpoint to reflect and justify any further move to the upside. Now, in the volatility of the 15-minute, inflow stayed above, got really close there on that little dip in the pre-market, sharply went back up, hit highs here of 5.15, and outflows have been starting and trying to dominate all day, right? A divergence here while the stock is going up, outflows have began, but we're still above the midpoint and sitting at positive 1.29. So it's going to be crucial for this to stay above to continue any push higher. Now, if it crosses to the downside, it could start to reflect that weakness into these charts. It may roll over into the 30-minute or 1 hour, and I'll be watching those outflows. And the first support is 528. Then below that comes 525, and then I'll be watching the 523 level. Now, to the upside, it's going to be crucial and critical for these inflows to level off, switch from red to green, pull upwards away from the midpoint, continue this staircase effect, and retest the high of the day at 530, break through it, roll that strength over into the 1 hour and 30-minute, and the next resistance I'll be watching is 532, and then comes 535. So these are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside and to the downside. The bull and bear indicators are going to be crucial, and the inflow versus outflows, I would not ignore them as outflows have began, even though we're above the midpoint, but on the 15-minute, it's getting really close to the midpoint and sharply dropping. So I will be watching that the rest of these after hours and going into tomorrow. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.